Hi, Yora Menderes here. I'm the owner and founder of Canine Learning Academy. Thank you so much for being here today and for all of your ongoing support. We have launched 4 classes in the last few days. Classes are all available now online. The classes are free at this time. So please just check them out. Our website is Canine Learning Academy. That's C-A-N-I-N-E, learningacademy.com. Other than that, let's go over a few things before we get started. So this Zoom platform is a webinar-based platform, which means we can't see or hear you, but we know that you're there. So if you've got background noise, don't worry about it. We can't see. If you'd like to dive in deeper and listen to the audio that we are going over the video content that we have, I recommend grabbing some headphones, a notebook and paper, a notebook with a pen so that you can write down notes if you like. If you have to step away or you missed it for any reason, this webinar-based class is going to be recorded and the link will be sent to you the following day if you're registered. So a few things. As we go through the class, we're going to be teaching the class to you live. If you've got a question that's got to do with the subject, or if you have any question, please use the chat button so you can type in what you'd normally say, and it pops up on our screen, and we'll try to address it right then and there, or we'll save the question till the end of class. We've given a little bit of time at the end of class to kind of go over some questions. One more thing, what I'm really excited to announce is that if we have a particular homework assignment that we assign, if you haven't done so already, we have a private page through Facebook, and on that page, we'll give you the assigned homework assignment. We'll place it on there, and I would like you to share a video of approximately 2 minutes that's got to do with that. If you do share a 2-minute video, we ask that it's just one video, no more than 2 minutes long, and we'll be able to critique your video. So how we do that in our Rowdy Rover class is when people send us videos, we'll typically say at 39 seconds, did you see the lip lick? Or did you see the paw lift at 42 seconds? So we can give you some pretty good pointers if you'd like to submit video. And again, that's one video, 2 minutes long for each course. So if you're in 4 different classes, you can do one video each time. So we'll put a topic subject on that tab, and then you can post right after. Other than that, let's start by just making sure that your chat works. So press the word chat, and let's just hear if you can put in what your name and maybe where you're from, that would be great. And while we get started, and we've got a few things to do before we start, but go ahead and just kind of chat with us, grab your drink, your pen and paper. We're gonna start in about 2 minutes. See you soon.
6 minutes.
There's about 6 minutes, but that's okay.
Yeah, so we'll get started here in a few minutes.
Oh, hey, Dad.
I'm going to unmute a few of you. Obviously, when you first get on here, the audio is muted. I just want to confirm that you can hear me. So I'm going to pick Stacy over here. I'm going to unmute you. Okay, Ryan, can you hear me okay?
I can. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And where are you from?
Huntington Beach, California.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about your dog.
Well, she's 5 months. She is a chocolate lab, and she's really excited to start training right now. She's chewing on our leash.
She got her paws up on the computer like, what are we learning, Dad?
She was looking at it a few minutes ago, yes.
All right, well, we'll have some videos for her to check out too. So.
Awesome.
How
Thank you.
much training have you done so far with your pup?
None. We were supposed to start on Sunday, but now we're all on quarantine. So.
Yeah. Well, we've got.
I did teach her how to sit. So yeah, she knows how to do that. But other than jumping off or jumping on things and leave it, she doesn't know.
Okay. So today's a little more, and we'll go over it again when other people get on, but today's a little bit more introductional orientation, and then we'll dive in a lot deeper into taking behaviors and putting them on cue and teaching you how to do that.
Sounds good.
And just so you know, we're here the entire time. If you'd like to chat with us, or if you want to send a message, we can always correspond a little bit later after class.
Okay, that works. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandy's here. Hi, Brandy. Stacy, can you hear us okay?
Oh yeah, no problem.
What'd you do with your dogs?
Well, they're in the office with me because we've got somebody cleaning the carpet. So
Cool. Thanks for showing up.
yeah, they're here.
How was your first online lesson?
You know, actually it went really well. Except I sat on the floor for an hour and now my lower back is like super sore. It sucks to get old.
Yeah.
But no, it went really well. It was kind of nice because it wasn't a brand new client. It was somebody that only had one lesson left in their puppy package. So we just did it online and it worked out really well. So
Awesome.
and so now that's gone and I feel good about it.
Well, let us know how we do. And if you have any suggestions or comments, we always are looking forward to hearing back from you.
Oh, well, I don't know. You guys are heads and tails above, far ahead of me on this. So I'm here to learn from you.
All right, Stacey. Hopefully we don't disappoint.
No pressure, no pressure.
All right, I'm gonna mute you for now so you don't hear any echoing, okay?
Sure.
All right.
So it looks like we're still waiting on some people, so we'll just hang out for a second. If you guys have any questions before we start, go ahead and type them in or let us know that you're here by just saying a quick hi and where you're from.
I'm gonna replay that video that you guys saw earlier.
Hi, Yora Renderis here. I'm the owner and founder of Canine Learning Academy. Thank you so much for being here today and for all of your ongoing support. We have launched 4 classes in the last few days. Classes are all available now online. The classes are free at this time. So please just check them out. Our website is Canine Learning Academy. That's C-A-N-I-N-E, learningacademy.com. Other than that, let's go over a few things before we get started. So this Zoom platform is a webinar-based platform, which means we can't see or hear you, but we know that you're there. So if you've got background noise, don't worry about it. We can't see. If you'd like to dive in deeper and listen to the audio that we are going over the videos, the video content that we have, I recommend grabbing some headphones, a notebook and paper. Oops. Hi, Yora Renderis here. I'm the owner and founder. The classes are free at this time. So please just check them out. Our website is Canine Learning Academy. That's C-A-N-I-N-E, learningacademy.com. Other than that, let's go over a few things before we get started. So this Zoom platform is a webinar-based platform, which means we can't see or hear you, but we know that you're there. So if you've got background noise, don't worry about it. We can't see. If you'd like to dive in deeper and listen to the audio that we are going over the videos, the video content that we have, I recommend grabbing some headphones, a notebook and paper, a notebook with a pen so that you can write down notes if you like. If you have to step away or you missed it for any reason, this webinar-based class is going to be recorded and the link will be sent to you the following day if you're registered. So a few things. As we go through the class, we're going to be teaching the class to you live. If you've got a question that's got to do with the subject, or if you have any question, please use the chat button so you can type in what you'd normally say, and it pops up on our screen, and we'll try to address it right then and there, or we'll save the question until the end of class. We've given a little bit of time at the end of class to kind of go over some questions. One more thing, what I'm really excited to announce is that if we have a particular homework assignment that we assign, if you haven't done so already, we have a private page through Facebook. And on that page, we'll give you the assigned homework assignment. We'll place it on there. And I would like you to share a video of approximately 2 minutes that's got to do with that. If you do share a 2-minute video, we ask that it's just one video, no more than 2 minutes long, and we'll be able to critique your video. So how we do that in our Rowdy Rover class is when people send us videos, we'll typically say at 39 seconds, did you see the lip lick? Or did you see the paw lift at 42 seconds? So we can give you some pretty good pointers if you'd like to submit video. And again, that's one video, 2 minutes long for each course. So if you're in 4 different classes, you can do one video each time. So we'll put a topic subject on that tab, and then you can post right after. Other than that, let's start by just making sure that your chat works. So press the word chat, and let's just hear if you can put in what your name and maybe where you're from, that would be great.
There were a couple of the members asked if they have a puppy that's a little bit older, is this class suitable for them? And I would say absolutely yes. If you're a new puppy parent and you've missed like the how-to and the why, this is going to be able to dive into deeper of why we do things that we do, and then how to safely expose your dog to something that they might have missed during that socialization phase.
And if you have an older dog, or if you don't have a dog and you're thinking about getting a dog, all of this information is really good, and it may explain a lot of stuff with your older dog about how they maybe missed a couple of socialization, development stages, or different kinds of exposure. So we're going to be going over a lot of information, and some of it you may not have heard before, or we're going to be presenting it in a different way. So I think you'll get a lot out of the class.
So a lot of the stuff that's coming from this class today is from our Puppies Start Right course that we teach with our puppies. This is the book. If you haven't done so for already, this is a book that's a really good purchase if you have a puppy that's young and you want to just kind of dive into deeper. And it's like step by step on how to do it. As a Karen Pryor Academy certified training partner, Puppies Start Right is one of the programs that we usually do after we graduate, just to understand how we can develop and socialize dogs properly. So great book, and we'll put it down, and when we're all done, you're gonna get an email probably a few hours later. We've been up all night. Few hours later, so that you can get some links of like some Amazon purchases that we're talking about, as well as the link to the entire class that will be recorded. All right. A little bit about Julie and myself. We went through CBATI, Certified Behavior Adjustment Training Instructors, with the Ellen, who's from the BAT course. We're both Karen Pryor Academy certified training partners. I've done some service dog coach, so I'm certified to work with service dogs. But most of our clients just live in a high-rise, live in a high-rise building, don't have a yard. We live in the city. So when we're working with our new puppies and dogs, we're trying to get them exposed and socialized with our town, our what they might experience with us.
Right, so we live in a beautiful beach area. So there's a lot of people, there's not a lot of yards. The weather is wonderful all the time. So we are fortunate in some things, but there are a lot of things that we have to go out of our way to make sure that our puppies are exposed to if they're going to be in different environments. So we'll talk about that.
A little bit about today's course. The class is about 1 hour. We're going to try to bring it into 1 hour. We said this earlier, but again, use the chat if you have any quick questions. We won't be integrating your puppy into this class right now while we're teaching, but we've got homework at the end that we'll assign where you can implement some of the things that you're learning in class. Also, we mentioned earlier, that you can submit a video. If you want us to review your video and kind of give you some feedback, that is open. We have a Facebook private group page that you'll get a personal invitation to, and you can join the page, and that's where we can share some of the other content and other videos.
So congratulations on your new puppy or the puppy that you already have. This is a really wonderful time, and it's probably kind of hectic, especially with everything we're going through in the outside world. So this particular class is going to be a class of 4. We're going to go through different things in each one of the series, but for this class is going to be run like an orientation. So we're going to throw a lot of information at you guys that you can go back, and we'll have PDFs and email review and then the recorded session. So if you missed something, you're more than welcome to go back and check it out again.
The second, third, and fourth class in this series is where we're going to teach you the different foundation behaviors. I think there's about 8 of them that we're going to go over in 3 weeks. So a lot of information. Also, we have 6 problem behavior prevention exercises that or prevention things that topics that we're going to talk about. And then how to safely socialize your puppy with all the different, I guess it's topics. Right?
Yeah. So we're going to go into your puppy's developmental stages, all the way from birth until adolescence. Woo. Socialization, not all today, but over the course of the 4 classes. Socialization, what it is and why we need it. So this is very important for all dogs of all ages. Positive and proactive exposure. Bonding with your puppy, which is going to be really important, especially for you parents with young puppies. We're going to be talking about potty training today, so tune in. That's a really, really important topic for most of us. Successful canine parenting and being your puppy's advocate. We're going to really dive deep into that today. Overview of our problem solving with especially breeding new people. We're going to talk about how to adjust your breeding style in this environment. And then what to have ready. So valuable rewards. We're going to play a game for your homework with assigning different values to different rewards, having your training tools ready, and then having a partner who can sometimes point out some things that you might be moving your arm too much, or you laughed and the puppy got confused. So sometimes it's nice to have that instant feedback or a video camera. And then we're going to give you some short, really fun homework assignments at the end. Just some really cool games and activities that you can do with your puppy for the rest of the week until you wait till our next class.
Yeah, puppy training, training your dog, bonding with your dog, all should be fun, right? All right, so the developmental stage, I'm gonna let Julie talk into the development stage, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yep, we're gonna go through the very critical socialization period, but no matter what age your puppy is in, you can see that there's very different developmental periods. So even if your puppy is past that 12-week mark, there are a lot of other things that we're adjusting, that we're finding out, problems that are going to pop up every different week. And so we want to make sure that you guys are prepared and that you feel comfortable with puppyhood. Today, specifically, we're going to dive deep into socialization.
And this is really common with our school dogs. They'll graduate, and then, 6 or 7 months later, the parents will call and say, I think my dog is regressing. Understanding the different developmental stages is really important, so that you kind of know what your dog's going through and you can be a little more patient.
Right, and adjust your own learning and teaching style to meet the learner's needs at that particular development stage. So the socialization period, this is going to be one of the most critical developmental periods in your dog or puppy's life. Between the ages of 3 and 12 weeks. Now, most of us don't have access to our dogs at 3 weeks. If you looked into a reputable breeder, or you had someone else taking care of the young puppies, we can influence their temperament and their direction at a very young age. By the time most of us get our puppies, they're 7 to 9 weeks, somewhere in that time frame. So we still have plenty of time to help shape the temperament and the behavior of the puppy that we want all the way down the line, so looking into the future. But also right now, since we're all quarantined, we're all stuck in our house, making sure that your puppy is getting enough alone time and sleep so that they can process all these new experiences, all this new information. They're not going to retain it if they don't have enough chance to wind down and sleep. Just like your dreams help you process your day, Same thing happens with your puppy. So if they're young, they should be sleeping 18 to 20 hours a day. That seems like so much, but it's really, really important for their healthy body growth and brain growth.
So if you just got your puppy recently and you're not sure on where to put them to help get them some rest time and alone time, that's something that you can kind of send us a text or a message. We'd be happy to have you videotape your house and find a more suitable place for your dog to get some rest. I have Joanna here, and Joanna's got a German Shepherd that we love, that we work with quite a bit every week. And one of the things she said, and her dog's, I think, 2 or 3, yeah. You can text me a little bit later, Joanna, but one of the things she says is that all of a sudden she's working from home and her dog is used to, like, when she comes home, it means play, or, hey, we're going for a walk. So this last 2 weeks for people that are working from home and having their dogs there, it's been kind of a struggle, the dog to get some really good sleep. So understanding that and trying to figure out a way to implement more sleep for your dog can be really important to make sure that they can process whatever it is that you're trying to work with them on.
And puppies are really similar to babies, so they're not going to go, Mom, I need a nap, right? They're going to go and steal things and jump and whine and bite and bark and just, you're like,
and then come over with a toy and go, can we play now?
Why is my dog going crazy? They're probably tired,
Yeah.
and you as the parent have to tell them, okay, it's time for a nap, right? So going into what actually influences a puppy's behavior over their lifetime.
So genetics, learning, and experience is what's going to shape your puppy into whatever dog that they're going to be. Every experience that your dog goes through is going to determine how they feel, afraid, neutral, or excited about an experience that they had earlier. For example, we work with a lot of dogs that are a little overreactive, specifically to dogs on leash. And one of the things I might say is, so you know what happened? They said, well, when my dog was like 10 weeks old, my neighbor came over and it was a little white fluffy dog and it bit my dog on the nose. And that experience shaped that dog into always being afraid of little white fluffy dogs. And we see that a lot with like flat-nosed dogs, or boxers always get a bad rap with the dog crew.
Even really big dogs that don't always know their own size. So if they step on a teacup or a tiny little puppy, you know, that can feel a lot worse to them than it looks to us. And while it's not done with any bad intentions, it still can turn into a generalized fear. So we want to watch out for that, especially at this age.
So that's the why. And then we want to also, we're going to point out in the next couple slides, is that exposure is just not like, don't let me just expose your dog. You want to have a positive experience. And we're going to show you how to make sure that your dog has a positive experience and to what to look for. So in body language, you can see if your dog is kind of like, a little hesitant or a little fearful.
So why is socialization important? Because it's vaccinating your dog against problem behaviors. The more exposure that they have when they're younger, just like actually kids, you know, I flew a lot as a kid. My parents were missionaries when I was growing up. Hi, Dad. We were always around people that spoke different languages and looked different and ate different foods. So growing up, that was no big deal to me. That really didn't, nothing was odd or weird because it was just a new experience. It was something new to do. And so I felt that I was safe and exploring and being creative in that environment. And the same for your puppy, if they are able to make those decisions when they're younger, safe versus unsafe, scary versus fun, or even a neutral expression or a neutral experience is so much better than a bad experience. So making sure that all of that translates into a much deeper problems and behavior later on in life. But if we can get in there from the beginning and correctly and positively expose our puppies, we can help prevent a lot of long-term issues.
Yeah. And that stage typically ends at most dogs at 12 weeks. So if you just got your puppy at 8 or 9 weeks, you have a few weeks. And the cool thing is that once you positively expose your dog to a few items, it's much easier. They go, oh, okay, we're doing that again, and they get it.
So it's not like you have to rush and go through the entire list that we send you, or that whoever you got your dog from sends you. It's just get through as much as possible and pick the things that are going to be most important in your life. So if you've got boys at home, then you're doing skateboards and bicycles. If you have a young 2-year-old, then you've got strollers and high chairs and loud noises.
If you're in the beach or the city, we want loud noises, sometimes gunshots, cars backfiring, sirens, construction
fireworks.
noises.
You live in Huntington, fireworks. Oh my gosh, you have to expose your dog to fireworks safely.
So early and often exposure really helps prevent those fear responses later in life.
All right, so socialization categories. We have the environment, right? Just different environments. We've got different people with hats, tall people, short people, old people, glasses. We have animals, not just dogs, but cats, birds. What did we do? Rabbits, anything that your dog might.
Snakes, lizards. I mean, not face to face, obviously.
No.
But from the distance, an appropriate distance, or if you go to a pet store, you can have them look
all in one room
behind the glass and really be able to experience that. Laura, our wonderful other trainer who's here with us, loves to take the puppies to pet stores or Home Depot so that we can get in a little extra exposure in a safe environment. So
sounds we'll use, this is your best way to incorporate sound, socialization to sound, using YouTube, Netflix. There's lots of different sounds, like your fireworks, your gunshots, your motorcycle backfire. Today we're going to basically talk mostly about surfaces and novelty, and we're going to dive in deeper on the how to. So let's go there. So surfaces.
So this is Winnie. She is an 8-week-old boxer who is too cute.
Stacy mentioned there's the Soundproof Puppy app, and I'll have her send me the link. That's a good. I've seen that, but it's an app that has all the different sounds that you want to expose your puppy to. So thank you, Stacy.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
So this is 8-week-old Winnie. We took her out on her surface exploration day. So you'll see a quick video of us making sure that we live in a beach area. So we want to be around grass, but also wet grass, because a lot of dogs who aren't exposed to wet or moist grass, who here has a dog that doesn't really like to potty in the rain? So that happens a lot if they don't experience a lot of rain. We have beautiful weather here, but we want to do our best to expose them to wet surfaces, puddles, grass. Here you see carpet, tile, wood, the logs, plants, flowers, all of these things. And then we have gravel here as well. So you can see she's really, she's a little nervous. And then we get into some real fun. You can see her tail just going crazy as she steps on the sand. So Yo lives next door to the beach. So it's really, really important for our puppies who want to make beach trips, or who have families that go to the beach all the time, that we put that into our socialization plan.
Does anyone live in an area where there's a lot of manholes? I'm sure you do, because we have a lot over here. I can't tell you how many dogs that we have when we go walking and they see a manhole, they like literally pull you off the side. So early exposure to surfaces that have metal on them. And if you're at home and don't want to go out, cookie sheets are always good. But here we are exposing Winnie, who I think's mom is actually in class today. It's pretty cool to see her video.
So I'm being a little silly. I want to make some noise. And then the positive association here is that I'm playing with her, right? We're having a fun new adventure together because we're playing on this novel surface. We do have a lot of kids in our area, so we want to make sure that Winnie is exposed to plastic signs about kids or cones. This is a video of the kids down the street the other day.
So Winnie's family, they have a 1.5-year-old. So having early exposure to bounce houses and those little signs that people put in their street, stopping dogs, you know, stopping people, they don't stop dogs, stopping people from driving too fast. Those are things that if your dog isn't exposed to, or like at Halloween when they've got all those things going on, early exposure to things like that is going to help make a huge difference in how your dog feels and acts when they see something new.
Right. So here, the sound, the pump of the air house, there were some kids in there jumping around. And we're just staying in the area and in general, just kind of hanging out so that she can get the exposure, but not a forced interaction.
And notice that when we are working with a new puppy or even, you know, your dog at home, getting down to your dog's level makes all the difference in the world. So getting down to their level, having fun, you know, don't forcing. So we never pull the leash and bring them over there. We let them go at their own pace when it comes to exposing to anything new.
So positive and proactive. So don't wait until you need to go and do something like the groomer or the vet or errands or hiking and biking. Try to do those things in small sessions before you need to go out for a long period of time. If your dog has never been around something that you're going to be around in your travels, making sure that you have short, manageable interactions with it and that it's positive. So if any new experience, just go ahead and assume that it's going to be a little scary for your dog. So having treats, a really great toy, and taking things really slowly. You can see two of our puppies here. We actually are doing a pause up. So that is a cue that we use to help them pose up on some nice rocks or benches. So here they're thinking about doing another activity while they're being exposed to rain, a public park.
It started raining.
We were on concrete surfaces. There were a lot of kids around. But these puppies were having fun because we gave them something to do, and every experience was like, oh, I'm gonna go touch that because I get rewarded for it. So they were more outgoing, more confident because they knew we were there to support them, not pressure them.
Easy way to help expose your dog to even like touch. Well, you typically, like, if you go and you start touching your dog's ears or their paws, they might pull away. So one way that we do in our class, because we are learning, you know, we're working with lots of different dogs that we don't necessarily know. So we try to speed up the process a little bit. Present food, and while the dog is eating, then you can go and like touch their ear or touch their paw. Don't touch first until they're comfortable with the touch, and listen to your dog. If your puppy goes, that means, that space means please stay away. Now, if you ignore that, that turns into your dog going, okay, they're going to ignore that, so let me go into showing my teeth, or how about a little bit of a bark or obsessive barking.
We'll go into those fear responses in just in probably the 2 more slides.
Okay. Bonding. So there's lots of different reasons why you want to bond with your dog, but here's one of them. If you happen to have your dog go, you know, out your door, you left your front door open, and they take off 2 neighbors down, you want to have such a trusting relationship with your puppy that you go, hey, Charlie. And Charlie's like, oh, my mom just called, and runs right back to you. In order for your dog to trust you and not be afraid of you, you have to begin that bonding as soon as you get your dog. No matter how old they are, you start with bonding. To do that, there's lots of different ways you can specifically just spend a lot of time with your puppy, positive time.
So getting down on the floor and giving them a specific time period. So not just, I'm gonna play with you for 5 minutes and then walk away and do the dishes, but really focused attention, 10, 15, 20 minutes with your puppy. And then once they're tired or you need to put them up, then you can go and accomplish your human things. But they really do need your full attention and your bonding, not just with toys and food, but with yourself, that you're there to be close and support them. So making sure that you have your attention, not just supervision.
And if you don't have 10 minutes, 2 minutes is just
2 minutes
fine.
is just fine.
Feeding by hand. So presenting food, you know, from your hand, and your dog being okay to take food, that all helps with trust and bond. Working with Winnie the other day, we were doing some hand feeding and she wouldn't take the food from the hand, so we had to place it down. Same with her mom. So after a few repetitions of her trying but then putting it down, the dog eventually within a few minutes ended up eating from her hand. So if your dog's hesitant from feeding from your hand right at first, there's ways to gradually help them feel better about that. So quick little video on how to bond with play. Play is one of my favorite things to do with all new puppies. You'll notice that we get down to the dog's level. And even if you're still sitting up and that's still not enough, you might need to go like flat chest down on the floor.
So wearing messy clothes or your workout clothes. You can see Yo has her hair tied up so that it doesn't get caught or grabbed.
And do not wear your Lululemon pants. Like wear something that you're okay with getting dirty and torn up.
Your brand new tennis shoes, this is not the time to break those out and have,
and be puppy-like. Is really good for the dog to actually learn how to play with you.
So humans, we often come at our puppies, and we're reaching over them. That's not how a dog would approach another dog. They would get down on this floor. They would put their elbows down. They'd hop around to get their attention. So Yo is mimicking what another puppy or a dog would look
horrible
like.
Freeze frame.
But since we don't have access to all those free puppy socials, to those public gatherings, to all of our friends' houses right now, it's going to be important that you teach your puppy how to play like a dog.
So at this point right here, Winnie had grabbed my elbow and was about to like rip my shirt. When it comes to bonding and we do human play at the very beginning, and not everybody can do this, I understand, like there's some people that can't, but we put no rules. At this time, especially when you're first getting your puppy, you want to have no rules and you want to assess like what their play style is. If they grab on, just take note, okay, they're a little mouthy.
And then she goes right back to chasing the way more fun part of it. So if we had ended right there, we would miss these really sweet opportunities that she is following us. So encouraging your puppy to follow your hands.
Introduction to recall.
Yeah, introduction to recall, spatial recognition, like mobiles for babies. They're really developing that long vision. And she's just being silly, and I'm totally fine if that's how she wants to play. So taking note of your puppy's body language. Here you can see she's going up, she's going back, and then she kind of tells us, I'm okay right now. And then turning play into a reinforcement. So you're not always going to have, the best treats on you, or a treat bag or a clicker. So we do what's called a puppy party. We get down on the floor and we go really, really excited with our puppies. And a lot of time that can be just as good of a reinforcement. I don't know if my brother's on here right now, but I'm going to tell kind of a silly story. So my brother is a retired U.S. Marine dog handler, and even these big, macho Marines that are sniffing out bombs, their dogs would go and accomplish a task, and then they would come back, and these big guys in their 20s and 30s are doing cartwheels, and they're getting excited, and they're singing their favorite song, and they're wiggling and being silly with their dog, so that the dog would get really excited to go find the next thing and then come tell their handler again. So making things exciting, even if it's just being a fake cheerleader or going a little above and beyond, you're in your house right now, so there's no judgment. Be silly with your dog. Have fun. This is a very short time period.
It's so short.
So enjoy every second of it. Thank you, Joseph, for letting me share that story.
Problem prevention. So when we work with some of our older dogs, I'll typically get a phone call. My dog is jumping every time. So those are behaviors that are already happening, and now we're having to backtrack to fix it. So for this course, we're going to be talking about how to prevent separation anxiety, how to prevent the biting and the chewing, the excessive biting and chewing, how to prevent jumping inside, like when you first come in, and jumping on strangers when they first want to come over and say hi, how to prevent chewing, potty accidents, and we can use the word resource guarding, but basically how to prevent your dog from going after their bowl or anything that they think is valuable. And today we're going to talk specifically about potty accidents, but again, over the next 3 more classes, we're going to hit all of those topics. All right, so our potty training video. And all of the videos, we have the long form with all of the talking through and the text will be uploaded separately. So if there's any of these videos that you want to just kind of see, we'll try to incorporate them into our Facebook page and share the link right there. So we partnered up with Doggy Lawn to make this video. Doggy Lawn is a company that you can purchase the real grass and it's delivered right to your home. And again, we'll have the link to that.
So here you can see we have a young puppy and we're taking her specifically to the potty area. So already having in mind, where is the correct spot for your puppy to go to the bathroom instead of just don't go in the house? Well, where would you like them to be going? So before you see, they deliver the grass straight to your house, but what we want to do is prep ahead of time. Yeah. So have that set up, ready to go, whether it's your backyard or you're setting up a patio.
Or a laundry room.
Rooftop or laundry room, depending on your home and the space that you have.
And what your needs are. If you're gone all day, you're gonna have a different potty area than someone that's home all the time.
Right, or mobility access. So making sure that you, as the person, can get there easily. So Yo has a ton of steps. I may not recommend that for her dad, who's a little bit older and not as quick to go up and down 4 flights of stairs. We want to make sure that there's something close by that you can really get to pretty quickly. Having a container for high value rewards. So we're going to talk about value of rewards later, but making sure that it's something special. It's not your everyday something. So, bacon or meat, right, or something really good and smelly and special that you're using in the environment. So right next to the potty
This area. Is right here. This picture is what we normally set up for our clients. It's a mason jar that's got a tight lid, a poop, some poop bags, the enzyme cleaner just in case, and some paper towels. And some of our dogs are not food motivated, so we just ask the parents to grab their favorite toy and leave it up, that it only comes out during their potty, every time they have a successful potty time.
So here you can see it's set up in a laundry room, kind of out of the way. X pens are a really great way to set up a longer term if you're going to be gone for a long space, so that your puppy has access to a potty as well as their food bowl, their water bowl and a couple of toys. And then here you see beautiful
This is Long Beach,
view. We have the doggy lawn set out, but you also want to be mindful for small puppies. Being up or on a balcony can be a little stressful or even anxiety driven. So I'm not motivated necessarily to perform in an anxiety driven area. So we might need to cover the balcony side or putting a blocker up like a bamboo or even just another baby gate against the side so that they can feel more comfortable and a little more private while they're going.
And you do want to walk the area of a balcony specifically and make sure there's no holes. But it's not just small dogs. Big dogs are afraid of heights too. You want to make sure the potty area is close as you can to the door versus like all up, up against the patio. Another Laura once told me that she used to spray her potty lawn and then it would, kind of roll over. So be mindful of things like that. That's what I like about the doggy lawn. It comes in a tray, so it's really easy to clean.
So giving your dog, we're gonna wait about 5 to 10 minutes when they go pee outside. You're gonna set them down and not stare at them, not talk to them, because all of these things your dog's going, what do you want? Tell me what to do. This is weird. So they may look at you, but try to keep your attention off of them to give them a little privacy. For pee, we want to wait about 5 to 10 minutes. For poop, some dogs need a bigger area. They need to walk or wiggle or make big circles before they actually go poop. So we want to make sure that they have enough area. Expanding that area at first, we can always make a smaller target, but it's safest to have too much room.
I like to suggest with most of our clients to put the water bowl on the way or near the potty station so that it kind of reminds the dog, oh yeah, I gotta go pee. So if your dog goes out the front door every time to go potty, then place the water bowl near the potty, near your front door.
Sorry about that, guys.
All right, that's fine.
That's fine. So accidents, we want to definitely use that enzymatic cleaner. The reason being that there's a protein in your puppy's potty. That's called the mark. That's how your dog always knows exactly the last place that they went, because there's that protein that cannot be cleaned up with bleach or ammonia or
Vinegar.
Lysol or anything like that. It's got to be an enzyme cleaner. So we really love Nature's Miracle, but there's a lot of other
a ton
brands.
of other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And we want to make sure never to yell or punish your puppy for going in the incorrect space. This doesn't teach them where not to go. It teaches them not to go in front of you. So those are the puppies that we see sneaking off and finding really cool places to go poop in your shoe or to pee on the bed all by themselves. So we want to make sure that they feel comfortable. If it doesn't hit the mark, we can always get better at target practice, but we want to encourage them during this time so that they feel comfortable going to the bathroom in front of you.
All right, to manage, we talked about how to prevent, but managing your dog. So when you can't be with your dog and supervise your dog, having them in an X pen or crate helps them to build their control of their bladder. And from the crate or the X pen, you want to kind of maintain that same routine. So for our dogs in training, it's crate, potty. And going to the potty station, some puppies, we carry them. Others, we can leash them. But if they're always going from their crate to the potty station, then eventually when we start to teach them independence, you can simply open the door and they run over to the potty station because you're always reinforcing that good potty.
Right.
Yeah.
I know my puppy is 40 pounds, so he's a bit too big for me to lift all the way and carry outside, but a leash is how we're getting out. So being your puppy's advocate, this is the other side of socialization that we wanted to talk about, is you, the human, making sure that you're giving the appropriate space for your puppy and for people to interact towards or with your puppy. So right now, with social distancing, we're quarantined. We really have to be careful about this. We need that 6 to 10 feet. So putting your hand out, right? People don't listen. They won't. They'll say, I don't mind, or oh, he's so cute, or it's just the dog, right? So putting your hand out and stopping them, say my puppy's in training, or we're not doing petting right now, but if you'd like, you can wave to my dog. You can say hi. You can be a little silly, and that's enough exposure. That's plenty of interaction without forcing physical touch.
I find that it's actually helping a lot of our puppies because they're not expecting to be touched. And so then they lose that anticipation, like, are you going to pet me? Instead, they're like, oh, okay, just another person walking by. I know in other countries, it's not like how it is here where everyone asks, can I pet your dog?
Yeah.
Or they just come out with their hands like this. So.
And some people don't want to meet your dog. And so making sure that you have the appropriate distance and that you're being respectful of those people. A lot of people have traumatic incidents or didn't grow up with dogs, so we want to give them their space as well. Always rewarding your puppy. And if they're fearful, if you're noticing signs of fear, tail tucked, shaking, retreating, let's not push our puppy into the deep end or drag them towards, even if it's a family member, right? We can always go back and work on readjusting